this the final week of the regular season. The Eagan Wildcats traveling to Shakopee to take on the Sabers, and it might be the last week of the regular season, but Nathan Cron, this is a huge week for both of these teams when we start looking ahead to next week's start of the postseason.
Well, there's a tendency in the media to want to look ahead to the start of the postseason, but of course, as you pointed out, Mike Cook, tonight is a huge game for both of these teams. Both teams are looking to improve upon their season fortunes. Both teams want to get something out of this game. For the Shakopee Sabers here in Shakopee, they want to secure a number one seed in the playoffs. They want to be crisp. They want to stay injury-free. They want to defeat the Eagan Wildcats. The Wildcats, on the flip of that, they're absolutely the opposite. They are sitting right now. They're sitting right now at
4-3.
4-3. Sorry, I'm not sure why I blanked there. Thank you, Mike Cook. Sitting at 4-3 with a winning record. The latest they've had a winning record in many seasons at Eagan. They have the opportunity to finish 500 or better for the first time in a long time. And Coach Nick Johnson understands that there's a chance if they win this game tonight, they beat a good Shakopee team, they might even get a home playoff game next week.
Yeah, I think you could pretty much put a bet on that the Wildcats would be at home should they finish 5-3 by knocking off the Sabers here tonight in Shakopee. And for Ray Benton and the Shakopee Sabers, they're looking to get in the number one seed. They are 5-2 coming into this one. Had a really bad start last week at Lakeville South, ended up losing that one by a 28-10 count. But Mark Henderson, they're leading the offensive coordinator for the Wildcats. They are going to have a tough test tonight against the Sabres squad. As you said, the Sabres, they are looking to get a number one seed and at least get a couple of playoff games potentially here at Vaughn Field. And the Sabres are going to touch the football first. And nice downfield coverage by the Eagan Wildcats as we are underway from Shakopee, Minnesota. That was that was number 17 for Shakopee on the return. As we try to look at our roster here, that's Cannon Rydberg. Man to keep an eye on tonight for Shakopee, number 5, Hellerud. Jaden Hellerud, he's already got over 1,000 yards on this season for the Shakopee Sabres. As you see him there, number 5. Dominic Jackson, number 1, will lead the way for the Sabres, who are missing a couple of guys tonight. It's kind of playing it safe with some of those injuries, where if this were a week from now in the playoffs, those guys would be playing. Guys like Monroe, for example, in particular. Garrison Monroe, that is. First down, Shakopee straight ahead. And we are going to see this all night long. Just running the football. And I think both teams are going to just run, and then, let's run some more.
Yeah, don't adjust your television set as you watch there. The Shakopee Sabre offensive line doing a very good impersonation of the Wildcat offensive line the last few weeks where they're just plowing forward. The Shakopee Sabres run an offense very similar to the Wildcats, so you're going to see a lot of the same formations, a lot of the same stuff, and again, the only difference is going to be the color of the uniforms.
Under center, Jackson, he'll hand it. Actually, and it is going to go straight ahead. Heller with spin move, and he gets out near the 39-yard line. Might have been a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Tella for the Eagan Wildcats. Again, I've been on the fake with Jackson on that one, and I think a lot of the Eagan defenders did as well.
That's a big first down for the Shakopee Sabres. Look at him. Look at Hedlund just slicing through. And nice spin. I mean, you don't think of a guy who runs between the tackles as a shifty runner. I mean, usually you have to be a Brahma bull to plow through those defenses. But that time, there was some shift in that. There was some shift in those hips.
Funny you mentioned Brahma bull. He's also a champion wrestler, Hellerud. Straight ahead, guess who? Nice pickup on first down again for the Sabre back. That's about 8 that time. Wildcats need to key in on him all night long.
Well, and of course, that's what the Sabres are hoping. That Hellerud will be the key, and that the Wildcats will key in on him. Then they can start running their outside game and their off-tackle game and doing some other things offensively.
Second short, Sabres. Straight ahead, first down, plenty more. Cuts to the outside. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle that time for the Wildcats. I'm sure might have been Iacker that time, but again, Hellerud from his own 46 to the Wildcat 44. That would be a 10-yard pickup, ladies and gentlemen. And key for some of the Shakopee students here. Looks like it's just school spirit night here at Shakopee. Everybody decked out in the red and the black. Much better job of defense that time by those guys up front. Carter Will, Cole Will, and company for the Wildcats. That's Hellerud again. Off the pile, 5 plays, 5 carries for number 5.
That's really impressive. He's had a huge workload the last few weeks, well over 30 carries the last couple of weeks. And I wonder if Coach Benton is going to spell him at all this week.
Nothing fooling that time. Hansen comes in. He had a little help from Keenan Wilson. 83 and 55 on the stop for the Eagan Wildcats. That's going to set up 3rd and long for the Sabers. Possibly first passing attempt of the night for Jackson and company.
Well, part of it's going to depend, part of it depends, of course, Mike Cook, on whether you think you're going to go for it on 4th down. If you're going to think you're going to give it to Hillerud on 4th down anyway for another 3 or 4 yards, then maybe you run the ball here. But it'd be interesting to see how Jackson, coming back from that ACL injury, what's he going to look like? How's he going to play tonight? This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first game back. Is that right?
No, he hurt his ACL last year. Came out. He's went the distance this year for the Sabers.
Okay, correction.
And he's going to pitch it, and we've got flags aplenty. I would assume that will be a false start on the Sabers, and indeed it will be as you look at the official on the left side of your screen, I should say, of your television screen, a football official. You try that again.
Well, anything to deflect from my grievous error just a moment ago, but that's one of the mental errors that Coach Ray Benton was telling us about before the game, Mike Cook. I mean, you just can't commit mental errors if you're going to be a championship football team. And last week against Lakeville South, they had a number of them, and they just had one here.
And that was all in their first drive. I think he said they had a 25-yarder called back, a 15-yarder, a 30-yarder, all called back due to penalty. And just run the football. Cats say they have it. Loose ball is on the turf at Vaughn Field. Cats indeed. Turnover. I don't know if it was Learen that came up with it, but Hansen's celebrating. Rockford's celebrating. Bottom line is it's Eagan football.
Take a look here. As Hillerud puts that on the turf, I'm not even sure. It looked like an arm maybe popped in. Look at this ball. It's just going to sit there. Look at it just sitting there.
And Hansen all over that
Hansen,
football.
Absolutely. Boy, a huge break for the Wildcats.
How big do you think Hansen's eyes got on that?
Big.
So Eagan from their own 49. Brooklyn Evans, who's got to lead the squad the rest of this year. Carson Schwam, who's out for the year with that ankle injury suffered a week ago up at Burnsville. You and I had a chance to talk to Carson briefly before the game, and spirits I think were about as good as could be for a situation like that, but tough break for the junior, but he'll be back next year ready to go, and he'll be ready for the track season as well, as he's a hurdler for that Wildcat squad. Minna will pick up that time Tonsager on 1st down. Again, those of you that have been with us all season, number 8, Landon Tonsager, he will be the bell cow for this Eagan offense. Over 900 yards this year for Landon. From midfield, 2nd and 9 for the Cats. This will be Tate Gage this time. Gage tries to squirm ahead. He picks up about 5. Going to set up 3rd and 4 as he's tackled just in front of the Wildcat bench on the far side. Right in front of Grant Johnson, the Eagan ball boy tonight, son of Coach Nick Johnson.
It's a lot of good blocking at the point of attack that time. Watch this replay as it watched up to the top of your screen. Got 2 pulling players.
Yeah, Anderson and McGivern.
Absolutely. Nice job that time by both blockers, and good job by Gage cutting that up. Watch him here as he uses the block on the outside by Anderson, and then he cuts to the inside. Nicely done.
3rd and 4 Cats. Again, first offensive series of the night for the visitors. And it's going to be 4th and about 2. Shakopee all over that play. Maybe falling forward for a couple of yards with Tonsager. It depends on the spot, but I would imagine Coach Nick Johnson is going to say, guys, we're going for it.
Absolutely. You're in Shakopee territory. Even if you punt the ball, you're going to give up maybe 10, 15 yards of field position. You might as well go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah, Fulton, by the way, in on the stop for Shakopee, among others. 4th and 2 Wildcats. You see the top of the screen how far they need to get. Shakopee student section shining defense. Here's Brooklyn Evans. Evans, nice effort. 2nd effort gets him down. That's a 1st down Eagan Wildcats.
What a huge 4th down for the Wildcats, Mike Cook. I mean, to convert that, and I wouldn't say easily because nothing was easy there, but Evans did a nice job of spinning off contact and continuing those legs. Watch him. He's going to take a little bit of contact there, but he keeps going, and he gets the 1st down with what, again, from our perspective, looked easy, but certainly wasn't at the point of attack.
Yeah, Braxton K-A-K-E Pancake, I think is how you say it. He was in for the tackle on that one. That was a big size mismatch, but Evans got the better of that. He gets a nice run here on 1st down as well. Brooklyn Evans kind of squirming his way forward for 4, maybe 5. Again, Fulton Jr. on the stop for Shakopee. Brooklyn Hill just finds the little seam, cuts it up. Cats will take 5 every time from him.
Absolutely. Nice job by Landon Tonsager. That time he did a nice job of being the fake man, but then he keeps going and he gets in front of the linebacker, and all of a sudden Evans cuts it behind him and gets another couple of yards. Nicely done.
You saw that look there a moment ago. A little bit of a change on the Eagan offensive line tonight. We'll talk about that momentarily as it's 2nd and 5. A rapidly moving opening quarter here on ETV. Yeah, it's going to be just shy of a first down. It's going to set up 3rd and probably inches for Tonsager this time. Gilbertson is out at left tackle tonight for the Wildcats, so Javon Hanna is back in. He's over at left guard. That moves over to left tackle is Adrian Moses, and Cole Meyer stays at center. So just a little bit of a change. Of course, George Esther's at right tackle for the Wildcats. Cole Wills at right guard. 3rd and very short. Evans looking to audible at the line. Tonsager straight behind him. Evans keep. Will he pitch? No, Evans will keep. Across the 30, 25. Another nice pickup by the sophomore. Gets down to about the 22-yard line of Shakopee. This is a nice opening drive for your Eagan Wildcats.
Yeah, the if you had it if you could script it for Coach Nick Johnson, I think this would be pretty close to what you'd want. Nice job by Evans being patient there. At first I was concerned that he had waited too long, that the play was going to get strung out, but McGivern did a nice job of blocking. Of course, gets rolled up for his troubles, but does a nice job of being patient there, and then he picks his hole and then darts through it.
Knocking on the door to the red zone are the Eagan Wildcats. Evans keeps it, 15-10. Brooklyn Evans, that should be a first, no, just shy. No, that should be a first down, indeed it is. And the run, it's going to be about 13 yards, assuming they spot it at the 10.
Oh, look at this to the outside. The Sabers bid on the fake really well. And Evans goes to the outside. There was great pursuit there by the Shakopee Sabers.
It was Ryan Vosper, 23. He's one of the top linebackers on this squad for Shakopee.
Yeah, he came from the opposite side of the field to run Evans down. That's great individual effort by Vosper.
1st and goal, Wildcats. About 3.5 to go here in a very rapid opening quarter. Tonsager gets about half of the distance to the goal. 5 for Landon. Just methodical drive for the Wildcats. That was the 9th play of this drive that started back at their own 49-yard line. 2nd and goal upcoming for the Cats.
Well, much like the Sabers, the Wildcats have had a formula. So far it's been working for those 8 plays. Can't imagine they're going to get away from it here.
That's Anderson and McGivern wide left. Cats yet to go in the air. Cats still haven't gone to the air. Tonsager to the goal line, and he is going to be stopped just shy. Half a yard shy for the Wildcats. So it's going to be 3rd and about 18 inches, I think.
Big test here for the Wildcats and for the Sabers. For the Wildcats, make this easy, right? Every team should be able to get 18 inches whenever they want. You got to do it. If you're the Sabers, huge opportunity here to force, at least in Wildcat minds, force the issue of, oh, hey, do we kick a field goal? Do we go for it here? I know what I would do, but the Sabers have to force the question.
Evans under center. Evans keeps up and over. He loses the football. He's in though. 6 points Eagan. Official from the far side came running in right away with his arms up.
All he's got to do is break the plane, Mike Cook. He broke the plane. The ball, yes, absolutely came out. And we've got a bunch of fans on this side of the field asking what happened. Why is that a touchdown? He doesn't have to touch the end zone. He just has to break the plane. And the 2 officials right on the lines, they're very clear. They both clearly signaled touchdown. That's 6 for the Wildcats.
And obviously the Shakopee fans on the near side not appreciative of that call. Hanson, PAT attempt is up, and it is good. 2:11 to go in the opening quarter. It's the Wildcats 7. Shakopee Sabers nothing, or do I say nil, as we talk quickly about the girls soccer season for the Wildcats, who came up a little short there in the section title game the other night.
The girls soccer season did in fact end on Tuesday against the Rosemount Irish down at District Stadium in Rosemount, Minnesota. The Wildcats, who had previously
really been handled, if I'm honest with you. It had really been handled by the Rosemont Irish during the season a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. They came out and played a heck of a game for most of that game. It got a little bit crazy there at the end as there were a couple of breakdowns as the Wildcats were chasing the game for a final score of 4-0, but it was 1-0 at half, and the Wildcats really showed a lot of character. Rosemont Irish are a fantastic soccer team. They have 10 awesome seniors. They're probably, I would say they've got to be one of the co-favorites probably to win the state title in girls soccer this year at 3A. So, no shame in losing. Still, though, a lot of tears, especially for those seniors who will be moving on to other sports and other walks of life.
That's always the hardest part at when any season ends. It's those seniors that have, for many of them, they've been part of that sport. I mean, obviously at the high school, but you've been playing that since you were probably 3, 4, 5 years old. One of the last times you're going to play that sport competitively. Nice return for Shakopee out across the 30, to the 40, 45, almost to the midfield marker was number 22 for the Shakopee Sabers. That's Miller, Vin Miller, and great starting position for the Sabers, and Miller was about one player away from taking this to the house.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I'm not a big fan of kicking it like that. I would like to see my coverage team just a little tighter, especially after taking a 7-0 lead. The other thing we'll have to watch is the Shakopee Sabers have 4. That's right, 4 guys in their front line. Wildcats have a full load. And even though you have to spread them out nowadays, I'd like to see the Wildcats try something sneaky.
Again, Hellerud is the big ball carrier for Shakopee. And the Sabers are going to plow ahead to about the Wildcat 45-yard line. Hellerud, of course, number 5. 7-yard pickup on first down for Shakopee. Nice, just got good. I don't see who that was that had the block, pushed his man to the inside. Nice job by that Saber to open up a hole. Ben Lear in the Wildcat defense looking to make a stand. It's 2nd and 3 with 90 seconds to go in this opening quarter. Shakopee in Eagan territory for the 2nd time in this game. And there's the pitch near side. And that's going to be a first down, Shakopee. And the ball carrier that time is Vosper. Or check that, number 33, Ben Holte, first carry of the football game for Ben. And it's going to be just shy, so it's actually going to be 3rd and about 1. Nice job coming up there was Kruger, number 26, to start things for the Wildcats. Cats a little shift on the defensive line. Cats are looking to jump. They did. That's going to be a free 5 and a first down, Shakopee. I don't think they were drawn off. Nope, it's offsides, Wildcats.
Can't do that. You cannot do that if you're the Wildcats. You've got to watch that football, not listen to that quarterback, because that is absolutely the kind of thing that will kill you against a good Shakopee team. Shakopee's too good of a team for you to make mental mistakes. Shakopee can't make mental mistakes. Eagan can't make mental mistakes, and there was one right there. And I didn't see who it was who jumped, but obviously he's feeling a bit sheepish right now.
I hate to correct you. You misspoke. It should be ones, plural, because it was more than one. There were a couple of guys that jumped for the Wildcats. Still on his feet. Jackson inside the 25-yard line. That'll be enough to move the sticks once again for the Shakopee Sabers. Responding nicely after the Cats went down and got a touchdown to take that 7-0 lead.
Well, this is what Hellerud buys you, right? You give it to him so much between the tackles, and all of a sudden everybody squeezes down. People lose their assignments, and all of a sudden now Jackson's able to slip to the outside.
Should be the final play of the quarter. Will it be a touchdown on the final play of the quarter? No, but it'll be a first down, Shakopee. Hellerud down to the 9. 1.8 officially on the clock, but once you get the ball set, that should take care of that. 15-yard pickup that time by Hellerud.
He just made that one look too easy. I mean, Hellerud was down. I think he was downfield about 10 yards before he even had any real contact. That's just not going to get it done if you're the Wildcats.
So we mentioned when we came on the air, this game is huge for postseason implications for both of these teams. playoff seedings are going to be announced tomorrow morning, Friday the 21st. At I believe 10:15 a.m. they'll be up on the State High School League website. I saw Channel 11's doing some online special with it starting at 10 to unveil the 6A brackets. But we know both of these teams are going to be playing on Friday night, the 28th. Shakopee's going to be here. We know that much, whether it's a 1 or a 2 TBD. Wildcats, there are so many potential for where the Eagan Wildcats could go. And the nice thing is, you and I have been doing these games for a while. We know they're not going to go to Eden Prairie. They're not going to go to Stillwater.
No.
They're not going to Wayzata. They're not going to be somebody's first-round fodder this year.
No, they're not. No, the Wildcats, look, whether they're playing at home or whether they're on the road, and again, that'll be dependent on this score tonight as well as probably a few handful of other scores around the Metro. Maybe there's some other scores that make a difference. Who knows? But bottom line is, regardless of who they play, whoever that team is, they better not sleep on these Wildcats. These Wildcats have shown this year some real improvement. And right now, at the end of the first quarter, what are they doing? They're leading the Shakopee Sabers 7-0. Now, if they can hold Shakopee out of the end zone here, I mean, who knows what could happen for the rest of the night.
Well, it's interesting. You and I talked to Coach Ray Benton of the Sabers before the game, and he made sure that these players knew this is not your older brother's Eagan. This is a team that can compete and, quite frankly, could beat the Sabers. Straight ahead, Hellerud. That's 6 points for the Sabers. A little extra shove there for Caden Tonsager and a little extra pushing and shoving behind the play, but bottom line, 9-yard touchdown, and the Sabers are 1 point away from tying this one up.
Well, that just made that one look a little too easy, right? I mean, Hellerud lines up as the second back in a three-man stack high, and all of a sudden he just takes the ball and plows forward. And right now the Wildcats catching it a little bit. We are going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. We'll check it. We're actually going to have offsetting penalties after the game.
Caden Tonsager there for the Wildcats.
After the play. Sorry about that.
I think Caden might have had the infraction for the Wildcats. He and one of the Sabers looked like we're a little pushing.
Yeah. Well, I like calling offsetting penalties there to get, make sure both players understand that kind of behavior won't be tolerated moving forward, but not necessarily penalizing the team. Now, beyond that, they've had their warnings.
Ashton Klusman for the PAT. Here's a good look at what he's got to face, or he'll be facing. Step down, kick up, kick on its way. And we've got a tie football game here at Vaughn Field. The Eagan Wildcats 7 and the Shakopee Sabers 7. 11:53 to go in the opening half. Hey, you know what? I want to give the Eagan fans some credit too. There's a pretty good turnout here by the parents. The pit's a little light tonight, but then again, it's MEA weekend, and I believe it's a dark out or a blackout or something, and then they've got some neon that they're supposed to be holding up. I understand as you look at the pit that a lot of them that made the trek down here down Highway 169 over to Shakopee High School, or actually we're at Shakopee West Middle School because it's about 5 blocks from the high school. And again, there's some of the Shakopee student section, and again, it looks like a Spirit Out is their theme, and Old Glory hanging there. Always nice to see at a high school game.
Good turnout for the Shakopee fans, and of course you would have that given the success of the program. And Coach Ray Benton and a lot of his coaches deserve a lot of credit for that. I mean, it wasn't long ago that the Shakopee Sabers were not a strong program, Mike Cook. They were struggling, to win games, to score touchdowns, to move the football against, perennial 6A powers, and now they're in a position where they can get a number 1 seed into the playoffs.
To me, Shakopee and Prior Lake are two of those schools that they're just like a hair below the upper echelon, but they're both knocking at the door, and you just think one of these years they're going to burst through. And again, if you got Ray Benton as your head coach, yeah, you're sitting okay. Wildcats, so the return out across the 20 years, Rockford, and he'll get out near the 24-yard line. The senior on the return, and 24 gets it to about the 24-yard line.
Well, the Wildcats have put together some long drives this year, Mike. You and I have covered several games here for the Wildcats, and of course several games where we haven't been on the air, where the Wildcats have gone 80 yards, 90 yards, 70 yards. That's exactly what the Wildcats need to do here. Imagine if they can go 80 yards or 78 yards, punch one in. That'll really tell you something about these Wildcats tonight.
Evans again under center. And it's going to be second and long as about 4 members of that Shakopee defense in on that stop for the Sabers. Among those coming up Off the bottom of the pile, number 9, Ethan Wenna, the big defensive lineman there. Yeah, those odds not in your favor, 1 on about 3 for your offensive line.
No, that's not going to get it done. Although I have to point out to the young man, number 9 is not an lineman's number.
No. It's high school. You make it up as you go along.
I know, but still, if you're a traditionalist.
Yes. Tonsauger, 8, running back. Is 8 a running back number? Well, it is now.
It is now.
Yeah. I guess that NFL did change the rules a little bit, but it's going to be 3rd and about 7 upcoming for the Wildcats. Tonsauger tried to get around the man, but 52, nice job of not doing a horse collar that time for Shakopee. Trying to get the name on number 52. That is Jacob Rude. 3rd and 7. Coming for the Cats. Shakopee just went down and scored. Cats didn't score first time they had the football. Pitch, Gage in trouble. Swarmed by the Sabers. You name a player in the Shakopee defense, he might have been in on that stop. Hunter Gromish, the top tackler, leading the way, number 18 in red.
Well, that one never had a chance. It was an overload to the right as he tries to get to the right side, but that pitch did not hit Gage in stride. It wasn't a good pitch, and so Gage really never had a chance.
Punt time for the Cats. Good snap. Kind of a low kick. Fielded at the Wildcat 48. Cutting up the middle. Nice field position for the Shakopee Sabers on that return once again by number 22, who had a nice kick return last time. That's Vin Miller. It's a great starting position for the home team. They will be at the Eagan 32-yard line. 9:45 to go here in the opening half. I would imagine we'll get a nice dose of Hellerud right here.
Well, why not? I mean, absolutely. And the other, if you're the Shakopee Sabers, what you'd like to do is get a lead and then be able to sit some of your guys, right?
Yeah,
that's what you'd like to do, but you got to get that lead first, and the Wildcats so far have been a little bit stubborn.
Just Hellerud behind Jackson. We'll send a man in motion. Yeah, guess who? He gets down to about the 29. Pickup of 3, maybe 4, depending on the spot. Rockford, last man in there for the Wildcats. I think Mason Gugino might have had a shot at him. Part of that tackle as well. Hope he came over right at the end to make sure he didn't crawl any further.
Wildcats have got to attack the line of scrimmage. Right now, that dive over that A or B gap, it looks like over the guard. That dive is just absolutely eating them alive, and whoever's over there's got to plug that up.
Jackson, keep, stutter step. Meets Carter Will, meets Keenan Wilson. Yeah, still falls forward to about the 24. It's going to set up 3rd and about a yard for the Sabers. Nice job, Carter Will coming up from that linebacker's middle linebacker spot. Had a little bit of a knee injury there, missed a couple of games earlier this year, but he's back full bore for the Wildcats. Third and 1 as the clock ticks down, 8:40 to go, opening half. Probably goes without saying this is 4-down territory.
I think so. If you're the Shakopee Sabers, I think so, which means, of course, in this situation, maybe you try something you wouldn't normally do.
Or you just, play it smart and you get 5 with number 5. Ball pops out right at the end, but he was already down.
Yeah, I can't imagine that Hellerud's going to put it on the turf twice tonight. I imagine he probably was very upset with himself when he came over to the sideline after that fumble. So my guess is he's going to be going maximum ball security for the rest of the night.
In the red zone for the second time tonight are the red jerseyed Sabers. With Jerry Tiller on the Wildcat defense looking to make a stand. Oh, bad snap. Jackson. No, that's going to actually Hellerud's going to get the football. That was Iacker that hustled in. The 22 in white. It's going to be a loss of about 12. It's be 11. They're going to spot it at the 30. Just a high snap.
Well, Hellerud was in the quarterback. I think he was in the quarterback position.
That was
it's cliche to call it a Wildcat nowadays because that's just, it's not really a Wildcat, but it is what it is. But I think Hellerud was expecting that ball somewhere between his waist and his shoulder pads. Instead, it went well over his head.
Yep. A more traditional look this time. This time it'll be Hellerud from the tailback position. He'll get about 7. He's going to make it 3rd and, let's call it 14 for the Sabers. Take a look at that last play. Again, nice job by the Shakopee offensive line, pushing the Wildcats back. I think it was 74, Ben Marty, the left guard, leading the way that time for the Sabers.
Yeah, I think I could have run behind that block. That was just, he's just down the field on the linebacker, just pushing him down. And Hellerud, you can't give him that much steam.
Jackson eludes 1 tackle and still gets down to about the 19-yard line. It's going to set up 4th and let's call it 10 for the Sabers.
All right, so I'm going to go on a limb here. I would actually kick. I'd see what kind of kicker I've got.
Yep,
okay?
I would too.
Here's why. Because next week it might or the week after, it might come down to a field goal. And having your kicker nail one now, assuming he's got the range, and having your kicker nail one now, be able to execute that might win you a football game in the playoffs. But of course, that's why I'm up here and Coach Benton's down there.
Or if you're Shakopee, you try and draw Eagan off, get 5 yards closer. Nope. Jackson looking to go to the air for the front. He's got a man wide open, far side, and it is dropped. Wide open. Brady Kriegel, he is going to see that one in his dreams.
Oh, my heavens. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. What a great, it's on the wheel route. He continues the wheel route. None of the Wildcats go with him. Tello, Will, everybody's biting on that. Oh, my heavens. Now, the good news is it was there. The bad news is, oh, my heavens, that was rough. That's rough.
Might have taken his eye off and saw Carter Will charging down, and you see the reaction that time by Kriegel. I'm just talking to some of their folks. This kid's a darn good football player. You're not going to let one play like that, damage their thoughts of him. It happens.
No, it does. It does. And it wouldn't shock me if the Sabres come back to him or come back to a play similar to that sometime in this game.
Absolutely. So Brooklyn Evans and the Eagan offense, they went 3 and out last time. Negative yardage on that drive. Tonsager. Actually, Evans did keep it. Stand corrected. I thought that ball nearly got punched out initially. Could be a loss of a couple on that play.
Well, Wildcats have got to do something here, Mike, and not go 3 and out.
No.
They've got to get a first down, get this ball into the other end of the field. Even if they end up punting the ball, don't give the Shakopee Sabres a short field to work off of.
Brooklyn Evans, the sophomore, brings in the play. Again, Brooklyn's the man the rest of the way at quarterback for the Wildcats as Carson Schwamm got hurt a week ago at Burnsville. Very tough break for that junior. He's been having a nice year with that quarterback rotation. Evans cuts it up, and he'll maybe get back to the 21, which is just past the original line of scrimmage when this play started. But again, 3rd and long upcoming for the Wildcats. And the Wildcats are not a passing team as much without Schwamm in there.
Yeah, Brooklyn Evans is not necessarily going to, at least so far this year, has not shown us a propensity to be able to throw the ball a lot. Now, to be fair, he hasn't been called on to do it very much, so
that is
the
fair.
Sample size is very small, but certainly with Schwamm out, that may limit some of your options. Wildcats still, though, if they can get a first down here, boy, they really can open up the playbook a little bit.
Peter McGivern closest to the sideline. George Anderson slot. McGivern the top receiver for the Wildcats this season. Evans is going to go far side. I don't know. That was 1 on about 4. Volsper on the stop, or Vosper, I should say, for Shakopee. They were all over that.
Well, if you could get Shakopee to slide to the field side and attack the short side, maybe. But the Wildcats now have set themselves up for a great opportunity here for the Sabres to get a good punt return and have a short field.
Actually, I stand corrected. Leighton Kearns was the first man in. Bosberg was second man in. Getting that one off is Tonsager. Fair catch called for at the 45. Cats run into him. There should be a flag, and indeed there is. Another mental mistake by the Eagan Wildcats, and this one's going to cost them dearly again. Shakopee's going to start. Well, the flag's going to be back at about the 44-yard line. So that's 2 straight 3-and-outs for the Wildcats.
Now, are they having a conversation about whether he was blocked into the return man or not? Because there was a lot of traffic down there.
Yep.
And you saw whoever the Wildcat was trying to avoid contact with his arms in the air, trying to get around it. But nope, it's going to be. I think that's 15. Isn't it?
That's my thought as well. I wanted to double check before I said something. So instead of the ball being at the Eagan 42, with 3.5 to go in the opening half in a 7-7 football game, Shakopee Sabers are going to start this drive at the Eagan 27-yard line. And on that last drive, with the exception of the one negative play and then the drop pass, I mean, Shakopee was getting 4 or 5 yards a pop.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, this is the second drive in a row where the Shakopee Sabers have started inside the Eagan 32-yard line. This is bad news for the Wildcats.
Carter Will and company looking to make a stop. Carter the junior, his brother Cole up front, 57.
Would hurt my feelings for Nick Johnson to call a timeout here if you're the Wildcats. Settle everything down, slow the game down, give your guys a chance to really think about what they're doing out there.
Coming near side. And out of bounds. Ooh. So that was a 17, the ball carrier that time. It was Rydberg, if I can say it.
Lost
kind of a little misdirection. Sent Hellerud up the middle. A lot of guys bid on that.
Yeah, but lost it too. I hope we get a replay on that. I don't think we're going to right now, but I don't know who the Wildcat was who stayed at home, Mike Cook, but he made that play.
Absolutely. Nice job that time, bursting through the line. You know him, you love him, Keenan Wilson. Meet Jason Hellerud. I should say Jaden Hellerud, not Jason. What did I say?
We all know what you meant.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you cannot have, as an offensive line coach used to tell me, we cannot have him unblocked in the scheme. Now it's third. No, it's third and long.
Yes,
I mean, it's way long. It's third and darn near 20. It's third and 17, 18, something like that.
16 they got on the board.
Yeah.
Inside 3 minutes to go in the half. 7-7 football game.
Imagine that the Sabers, if I were the Sabers, I might take to the air here. Why not?
Why not? Or is this one where you try to get 5, 6, 7 yards, and then maybe you put that kicker out there again, like you were talking about last drive. Of course, if you take a timeout first, I think. Referee came running in from the near side. Yeah, timeout Shakopee. First one of the game taken by either team with 2:36 to go here in the half.
No, but that's smart. It's smart. I mean, both teams right now can call timeouts, can settle their players down, can talk about assignments. I mean, the Wildcats, for instance, don't want a repeat of the wheel route that almost got away, right? They don't want that again. You can't have that in this situation. For instance, if you're Shakopee, you want to make sure that everyone's clear that closing down and cutting off those backside gaps, not letting Keenan Wilson come flying in, knifing in, is where you want to be. What's Shakopee going to do if they're going to throw the football? Are they going to call a 3-step drop or try to do something like a 5-step, 7-step drop? What are they going to do? You know, all of that can be talked about in these timeouts. Gives your guys a chance to reset mentally.
So I'll look at Dale Comer, the Eagan defensive coordinator, talking to the guys on that side. 3rd and 16. 2 receivers set for the Sabers. They'll do the safe play with Hellerud. He cuts to the outside. He needs a block. He's going to be close to the first down, if not there. It depends on the spot. Needed 16. I think he is going to be a hair short. Again, just straight through the middle. Huge hole there. Rockford kind of gets around his legs to take him down, and it's going to be 4th and, well, or is it going to be first down? There's a little confusion on that far side if they move the sticks. And indeed, there they go. That's going to be a first down Shakopee. 16-yard run, first down. And whistles aplenty there. That should be, I believe that'll be a false start.
Not sure if we're going to have a false start. I think we're going to have encroachment on the defense.
You stand correct, Nathan. You got that one. That's the second time tonight Eagan's been whistled for that penalty.
You can't have it, right? I mean, you can't have it if you're the Wildcats. You're playing an excellent football team at their home stadium. You got them 7-7 with 2 minutes to go in the first half. And what are you doing jumping off sides? You can't do that. I mean, you've got to focus. You've got to focus.
So 1st and 5. Do you give it to number 5 here if you're Shakopee?
Oh, heck yeah.
Went into his own man, maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tella in there along with Hansen for the Wildcats. As the clock continues to tick with 1:29 to go in this half. And you know, if you're Shakopee, hey, let's run this clock all the way down as well. Eagan will get the ball to start the second half.
It's good penetration at the point of attack. I think it was Hansen. Nice penetration at the point of attack, really bottled that up. And we have the left. Oh,
yeah.
now we got a mental error in red.
Yeah, I agree.
And if you're the Shakopee Sabers, now you're pulling your hair out going, guys, we got these guys on the ropes. We punch it in here. We get 7-point lead going into halftime, and you can't shoot yourself in the foot. Watch the left left tackle just jumping up all over the place.
Yeah, that was a pretty obvious one. So we go back to second, and they're going to say 2nd and 11 on the board. One receiver each side for the Sabers. Jackson under center. Pretty safe play there. Just go straight up the middle. Pick up maybe 7 that time for Hellerud as we get inside a minute to go in the half. 2 timeouts remaining for the Sabers. Cats have all 3. Hellerud gobbled up. Moses in there for the Wildcats. Check that out on defense. Maybe Moses making a little defensive play. Carter Will in there. Shakopee's going to let this one run down for a while. I imagine they're going to take a timeout here on 4th and 3. I think you're setting up the field goal here, aren't you?
Absolutely, and this is absolutely what you want to do. Now, the other thing I noticed during warm-ups, as Shakopee was kicking, the A gap between their left guard and their center really, really wide. Let's see if the Wildcats can exploit that. Now we've got the clock being stopped.
Yeah. Timeout taking Shakopee.
Timeout Shakopee, sure.
Clock ran down on the play clock.
But I don't know if you remember on the PAT, even on the PAT, the Wildcats had 2 or 3 guys come up over the line, whether they were jumping or slipping through or whatever it was. So Shakopee's going to have to make sure they're careful, stepping down, taking away that internal angle. Remember, that's what you do.
Ray Benton done a nice job helping turn around this program. Been here a while. Coach at Simley, coach at Holy Angels. You know, we say this about a lot of coaches. He might be one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the coaching profession.
I've enjoyed every conversation I've had with Coach Benton. Absolutely, he's gracious, he's intelligent, he's witty, he's fun to talk to.
Absolutely.
And you know, if you got to find, ladies and gentlemen in Shakopee, if you need a coach to coach your young man in football, you got a good one.
Well, I dare say in life as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. 29-yard attempt upcoming. Huseman the kick. Down, up, low liner. No, he missed it left. So the Cats are going to take over with 8.4 seconds left in the half, which to me means you kneel down.
Yeah. There's absolutely no reason to
you don't mess with that.
I mean, if you were at midfield, maybe that's another issue. But right now, no, there's no reason to screw around. You line up in victory formation, and you kneel on it, and you go into halftime tied against the Shakopee Sabers at Shakopee in the last game of the regular season. That's what you want.
Again, Sabers looking to get a number 1 seed, pretty much lock up a number 1 seed with a win. Cats looking to get a home game potential. Most likely, I'm going to go with a win. We got 24 minutes gone by. Eagan Wildcats 7. The Shakopee Sabers 7. We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back with second half action in just a little while. You're watching Eagan Wildcat football on ETV. welcome you back inside Vaughn Field in Shakopee, Minnesota. We're at the half. It's your Eagan Wildcats 7 and the Shakopee Sabers 7 as well. Again, pleased to be joined by Nathan Cron. My name is Mike Cook. We're glad you're with us here on MEA Thursday as you look at the Shakopee student section with the theme we assume tonight is school spirit. A lot of black and red in that crowd. Somebody with a white sweatshirt there didn't get the memo apparently, but bottom line, most of them did, and it's red and black. And of course, the pit on the other side, I believe it's, I don't know if it's a dark out is the proper term, and they've got some neon ropes and kind of stuff to set up. But again, Nathan, we talked about this as you look at the pit, enjoying a lovely cup of hot chocolate here at the concession stands here at Shakopee. Shakopee West Junior High, I believe it's called, Vaughn Field. But the pit, they're going to be out in force on Friday the 28th, no matter where the Eagan Wildcats are going to go, if they go anywhere, because if they can come back and take this advantage of the second half, get the win, I think we're at Wildcat Stadium a week from Friday.
I think that's very possible, Mike Cook. The Wildcats have got their work cut out for them, and I'm sure Coach Nick Johnson at halftime told the Wildcats just that. It's all right there for you. All you have to do is go out and play defense the way we played early in the first quarter, play offense like we did early in the first quarter, do what we have to do to put some more points on the board and force these Sabers to really crank it up. Now the Sabers on the flip side are going to say to themselves, hey, we made some mental errors. We did some things in that second quarter where we should have punched more in. We should have scored a couple more times. They had multiple drives starting inside the Eagan 32-yard line and only came away with 7 points once. That's not a good efficiency, if I'm honest with you. And I'm sure the Shakopee Sabers will be looking to take advantage of their opportunities here in the second half.
So the coach Nick Johnson for the Eagan Wildcats. Well, you saw him briefly. 4th year as the head man. He climbed the ladder on the back of the shirt. Again, that's the motto of this program, is climb the ladder. And the Cats have continued to do that year after year, and this has been a really good season. But there's still a long ways to go for this Eagan football squad.
There is. There's still progress that can be made. I mean, when you're in a situation where I guess I'll say it this way. When you go into games against, the Rosemounts of the world, Lakeville South, Eden Prairie, and it's not a foregone conclusion that you're going to be in running time, right? Or that it's going to be a 3 or 4 touchdown lead late in the game, something like that. I think that's what you want to do. You want to get to a point, if you're the Wildcats, where every game it's going to be a dogfight. No matter how good you are, we're going to bring our best, our A game, and we're going to compete. And that's what Shakopee has done. Shakopee has done that over the last, probably I would say 6-7 years. They've built that program up to the point where they're able to compete with anybody in the state. And the Wildcats have, they've seen it done around them. Now it's up to Coach Nick Johnson for the Wildcats to do it in Eagan.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a quick mention, by the way. We got to make sure, great community support all year for the Eagan Wildcats. Wildcat Stadium has been full, really every game, home game this season. But we got to make sure we thank our football partners, Cooper's Tap House, Kitchen and Rail, Wyatt's Twisted Americana Bar and Grill, Tavern 13. I think some fans might stop there on the way back from Shakopee tonight.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Domino's is the official pizza for the Wildcats. Jersey Mike's the official sandwich shop. And just lots of other sponsors all around the community of Eagan that have really come out and supported the program this year. I thought it was great. I got my hair cut a couple weeks ago at Great Clips. Big poster in there, the Eagan football, climb the ladder. Just one example of everything that you're seeing around this community.
Well, Eagan Arms Public House hosting the Booster Club meetings,
Absolutely.
all that kind of thing. Yep. I mean, we had a great time.
At Juniors Cafe, Dunn Brothers, Olson Defense, Domino's, as we are back underway here for the second half. And the Cats are going to start inside their own 20-yard line. Nice downfield coverage that time by the Shakopee Sabers. And here comes Brooklyn Evans on that Wildcat offense, looking to get something going. They had 53 yards of total offense in the first half. 51 of that was on the drives that they scored on. Last 2 drives each went 3 and out with a net of 1 yard per drive. Not going to fly when you continue to climb the ladder against a team like the Shakopee Sabers.
No, getting 1 yard in 2 drives is the definition of not climbing the ladder.
So from their own 16-yard line, Wildcats, here's Tons. Actually, yep, whistles aplenty because there's a flag on the field, and I'm going to assume that's 5 against. Well, you think it's on Shakopee.
Well, I cheated. I looked at the referee running in from the side with his hands on his hips. I think they're going to call encroachment.
Good call there, Nathan Cron.
So a free 5 for the Wildcats. That helps keep them behind the sticks. We couldn't see it from where we were, but I think it was on the far side.
Cats will take it. And Landon Tonsager done a lot of the work tonight for the Wildcats, the senior, number 8. Sure, big brother Connor's watching us from the Chicago area. Grandpa Floyd watching us from down there as well. And guess who? Number 8 cuts to the outside, gets a block. That's going to be a first down and plenty more. Peter McGivern's going to get a great assist on that run that went for 17 yards to Tonsager. That was McGivern, number 7, leading the way that time for his teammate.
Well, the key for Peter McGivern was to stay on that block. You can't hold, because remember, last week against Birdsville, he got called for holding at the point of attack. Here he stays on it, he stays on his block, but he doesn't grab. He sets it up, and Tonsager smartly uses McGivern's interference block in front and then cuts to the outside for 5 more.
Fresh set of downs for the Wildcats. Wearing the road whites. And that's read very well by the guys in red from Shakopee. Looks like number 18 was the first man in. That's Hunter Gromish. And we mentioned he's the top tackler for the Shakopee squad this season. You should look at Javon Hanna. Good to see him back in that Eagan lineup. Had a little bit of an ankle injury. Missed the last couple of games. Probably could have went last week, but didn't. Because he told me he thought he was going to get clearance and did not. So, again, better to be safe. Anderson moving on the Wildcat backfield. He sets. He goes in motion again. Evans goes that way. Evans will keep. He'll cut up the middle. And he'll get out near the 44-yard line. Going to set up 3rd and about 4 for your Eagan Wildcats after the 5-yard pickup there by the Eagan quarterback.
Well, as long as those offensive linemen stay on those blocks and keep blocking, you saw Evans slip through the left side of that line. I was hoping that he wasn't going to pitch that ball because there was a crease there, and he found it. Nice gain there on 2nd down. Sets up a makeable 3rd down and 4.
And I would say this is a big 3rd and 4 for the Wildcats. Get some momentum going. Again, 3 series in the opening half. 2 of them were 3 and out. Evans, he'll keep. Evans will pitch. First down Wildcats, and plenty more. Mason Eisen, that's his first carry of the football game. Or Madden Eisen, check that. Nice run by Eisen, who had a big kick return for 6 against Hopkins a couple of weeks ago.
You got your heart in your throat every time the quarterback pitches that ball, but Eisen did a nice job of catching it. Brooklyn Evans, to his credit, does a nice job of looking with his eyes first and extending his arm, getting a good quality pitch. That could always be dangerous, but that time he made it look easy.
From the Saber 40, opening drive of the second half in a 7-7 football game. Anderson, this will be his first carry of the night. Bounces to the outside, gets a little bit of the corner, gets 6, maybe 7. Looks like it's going to set up 2nd and about 4 for the Wildcats as Tate Gage goes over, gives him a hand up. I like this, the Cats. I mean, they're mixing up. It's been a little Tonsager, little Evans. You got Eisen in there. You get Anderson right there. Just showing a few different looks there to this Shakopee defense.
The Shakopee defense certainly thought they probably were going to see a steady diet of number 8, but right now they're getting a little bit of variety. A lot of I formation, Mike Cook, for these Wildcats.
Evans again under center. Tonsager right behind the center. Tonsager 20. Tonsager 6 points. Eagan. Tonsager from the 34.
This is just a credit to everybody. Landon Tonsager, not the least of which the offensive line. Look at these guys up front blocking. They're staying on their watch. Well, look at the hole here. There's a nice hole, but look, it's Esser's 15 yards down the field blocking, and he doesn't even block anybody because nobody fills that position, and then Tonsager just makes the cut and he's gone.
Big block that time by Cole Meyer, the center as well. Here's Hanson, PAT. That kick is up. Kick is on its way. Kick is through the uprights. 9:33 to go in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats 14. Shakopee Sabers 7. Again, Wildcats, they win this one. They're probably going to be at home for a playoff game for the first time in gosh knows how long.
At least a decade.
Probably.
Almost a decade, right?
And again, Shakopee, they're looking to get that number one seed. We talked about this earlier. We assume Maple Grove and Rosemount, 2 undefeated teams. Centennial is at Woodbury tonight. So I think if Centennial wins that, I think they've got 1 loss. Who knows who you put in there. Bottom line is, it's going to be a fun 6A football playoff.
Absolutely. Next Friday will be must-see TV or must-attend away game if you're an Eagan Wildcat fan, because the way the way the Wildcats came out and started this half, that's impressive, Mike. They did a good job at halftime getting set up to make the adjustments necessary to move the ball against a Shakopee defense that had them stymied in the second quarter.
6 plays, 84 yards, that drive for the Wildcats. As Jack Hansen sets to kick this one off. Vin Miller, most likely with a return for Shakopee. Actually, Cats are going to, a little short kick that time. And Shakopee's going to get the football at about the 30-yard line. Coming up with that football was Brandon Johnson, a senior running back for the Sabers. And Shakopee will start their opening drive of half number 2 from their own 30-yard line with 9:29 to go here in quarter number 3.
Well, that's smart for the Wildcats. Don't give the Shakopee Sabers the momentum of a big return when you've given up 2 big returns, 1 on a punt and 1 on a kickoff already tonight. Just pooch that down, let your defense go to work.
Again, Jaden Hellerud, number 5. He's been the go-to guy for these Sabers. Lone in the backfield. He'll get it. He'll run into Learin. And kind of falls forward, picks up about 4 as Iacker in the help out as well on the stop for the Wildcats. So 2nd and 6 upcoming Shakopee. Keenan Wilson actually coming back as well, big number 55. Again, Keenan, the North Dakota State commit.
We'll have to see what the Shakopee Sabers do, Mike. Hellerud was having a heck of a first half until they started going away from him. Let's see if they give him a steady diet.
Well, so far they're 2 for 2. And it's going to be 3rd and about 1 upcoming as another 4, maybe 5 that time for Hellerud, just following the lead of big number 56, Max Coles. 56 in red is just a sophomore. It's a big boy there coming on that left side. So 3rd and about 1, a long 1 at that. Dropping the Wildcat defense. You saw Connor there, the junior DL, number 88, just off the left of your screen. You see his helmet, a little bit of a shoulder. Getting the cast, get the stop. And it's going to be close. I think they got the stop.
They absolutely did,
there's
Mike.
The official coming from that far side. They are definitely short. Ben Learin, first man in for your Eagan Wildcats. Look at that.
It was a Herculean effort by Hellerud just to get back to the line of scrimmage, Mike. They had him a yard deep in the end. They had him dead, a whole yard deep in the end zone, in the backfield.
4th and a short 2, long 1. Shakopee, it appears that they're going to go for it. And why wouldn't you? I don't think too many teams have been able to stuff Hellerud twice in a row.
It's got to be number 5 here, doesn't it?
It has to be. 5. First down, plenty more. 5 across the 50 into the Eagan territory. That's a 22-yard run on 4th and short. And momentum quickly switches to the home sideline.
Nice blocking there on the right side of the line and a cutback. That's what Hellerud, Mike, that's where Hellerud's really making a lot of money on these long runs, is the cutback. It's not these pile driving through 4 guys. He's hitting the line, taking some contact, and then going back negative across the side. Nicely done.
Dominic Jackson, the quarterback for the Sabers. Give to Hellerud. It's a couple yards. Hansen, first man in for the Wildcats. Tella in there as well. Hansen loses his helmet in the process. And we've got officials timeout. I assume it's for Hansen's helmet coming off, and he's probably got to come out for play. And indeed, there he goes. Straup will come back in, number 88. He'll play on that left side for the Wildcats.
Well, as much as Hellerud's going to get the ball, Mike, he's human. I think, like newsflash, he's human. As you get more tired, ball security becomes more challenging. Wildcats need to go for that ball.
There's a good look at the quarterback, Jackson. There's Hellerud once again. And there's a first down, Shakopee. You got to love it if you're the Shakopee O coordinator. It's just a matter of which play do you call for number 5. Again, that'll be a first down to the 29-yard line. 9 yards on that carry.
A big drive here for the Sabers, right? I mean, imagine not being able to finish this drive, right, Mike?
Absolutely.
I mean, they had some trouble in the second quarter, but now they've got to punch one in because they're down by 7 points.
Yeah. Speaking of 7, this is the 7th play of the drive. So we're halfway through quarter number 3 here on ETV. And another nice little first down run that time for the Sabers. It's about 5 again. Let's make it 2nd and 5. I believe it was Hellroot again on the carry. You see him, he's sucking wind a little bit out there. But yeah, every play has been him thus far. It's going to be 2nd and 6 officially, they say.
Well, the more and more you put hats on him, the more and more you tackle him, the more chance you're going to have to be able to strip that ball out. But here, at the same time, you've got to watch out for the wheel route. Got to watch out for Jackson doing something around the end.
Ben Holte goes in motion. Hellerud, he's getting wrapped up right away. First man in, Ben Learen. What a quarter this young man is having. Or Jocelyn, why do I keep calling him? Ben was his brother. Josh is here. I apologize to Josh.
Long third down now for an offense, again, like the Wildcats. Now, the Shakopee offense has more, on paper has more talent, has more skill. I think it's fair to say they're a more accomplished offense. But it's still a running offense. It's still an option offense. And third down and long is not where they want to be. So, obviously, Hellerud's going to get this ball. But, I mean, it's...
Is it obvious?
Well, I think so. That's what I would do.
Well, they didn't. They're going to pitch it back. Hello! Iacker all over the ball carrier, Kriegel. What a play by Iacker from that outside linebacker position. Sam I am. And give Hansen credit too. He burst right through that line. So it's going to be 4th and 11.
Now here's where the Wildcats are going to be careful. They've picked a few gaps. They've shot a few gaps. But the Sabers know that. The Sabers could run a trap. The Sabers could run something inside, take advantage of an over-aggressive Eagan defense. They've got to stay home on this play.
4th and 11. Sabers, I believe, yet to complete a pass. And we've got flags aplenty. It's going to be 4th and 16. Heard somebody in the crowd use the word terrible here on the home side.
Yeah, that's the front.
Yes, sir, I agree with you.
The right guard decided he was going to leave a half count early, and you will go from going for it on 4th down and 11 to now the punt team is coming out for the Shakopee Sabers. But to be fair, that's the right call here. Punt the ball down, try to pin the Cats deep, make them go 80 yards to try to score again.
Or do you punt it?
On 4th and 16?
No, or you're at the 35. Do you think fake here? Ashley Klusman.
Oh, yeah. If I'm the Wildcats, I got to be watching. I want that ball to go up over everybody. Just get away from it.
Yep, Klusman, little short pooch kick. Nice favorable roll. Going to go out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Excellent job by the Shakopee punter as the senior pins Eagan deep in its own territory with 3:27 to go in the third quarter. And it's a 14-7 Wildcat lead. Again, Wildcats win, most likely a home playoff game. Shakopee wins, they're looking for a number 1 seed in the postseason, one of the 4 in Class 6A.
We're going to see some real character here for the Wildcats. Can they be perfect? You cannot make a mistake starting your own 6-yard line. You can't do it. You have to be perfect. The handoffs have to be good. The blocking's got to be good. Everything's got to be perfect here.
Cole Meyer is your center. Brooklyn Evans your quarterback. Brooklyn Evans the ball carrier. Brooklyn Evans with a pitch. Eisen. He'll get out across the 10 out to about the 13-yard line. Pickup of about 7. And I hate to even bring this up, but we were talking to Carson Trauma, I think it was, about this before the game. Last week they had some trouble with the snap with Brooklyn Evans in there against Burnsville. I think it was at least twice Eagan had to fall on the football to prevent the turnover. Haven't seen that yet tonight. And let's be honest, if you're an Eagan fan, you're telling Mike just to shut up.
Shut up, Mike. But it's an issue. It absolutely is an issue.
Evans again under center. He'll keep across the 15. Gets out to about the 17-yard line. That's going to be close to a first down as I look at the official on the far side. And the sticks are going to move. First down, Eagan Wildcats. Brooklyn Evans just enough that time.
Big first down for the Wildcats, getting out of the shadow of their own goalposts.
Again, a rapidly moving third quarter. There's 2:17 and counting. If you're the Eagan Wildcats, you would love nothing more. March this thing down the field, take up 8-9 minutes of clock time, which is what Shakopee did to Eaton Prairie here a couple of weeks ago. They had a 9-minute drive in the fourth quarter to seal the deal in that one. Pitch. Outside. First down and plenty more. Can he go the distance? Eisen. 6 points. Eagan. 82 yards.
Mr. Eisen, welcome to the Eagan offense, young man. I know he's carried the ball before. He's done a good job tonight, but Brooklyn Evans made that pitch well out in front of Eisen. Eisen takes that ball. There's good blocking down the field, and it's 6 points Eagan. That was absolutely amazing, Mike Cook.
And he's just pulling away. Eisen, just a sophomore. Kick is tipped. 20-7. Madden Eisen, 82 yards. We got a late flag coming in. I don't know. It came from the official on the near side. There wasn't a player nearby. And I'm not sure if a Shakopee player might have said something as he left the field. As you look at Eisen.
Well, it's going to be, it almost certainly is a dead ball foul, right?
It
so
is.
the try will be no good. And whatever penalty will be assessed, it'll be assessed on the kickoff, although the Wildcats are still out there.
I was going to say that.
At least I think so.
And sportsmanlike on the Sabers. Again, there's a dead ball foul. There goes the Eagan offense.
Yep. Yeah, so the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. So
that was a frustration one right there for Shakopee.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And Nick Johnson, you saw briefly, he was looking for an explanation. The Pit, they are small but mighty here tonight on MEA weekend. I'm sure a lot of their classmates are hopefully tuned in from wherever they went, if it's the Dells or Florida or, hey, hopefully just sitting home on your couch enjoying Eagan Wildcat football. The Cats can hang on to this one. The Pit better be ready for Friday night the 28th. Like we need to tell the Pit what to do. They'll be ready. But right now, Shakopee's 2 touchdowns down. Plenty of time for the Sabres to get back in this one. Again, you're going to see a healthy dose of Jaden Hellerud as you look at the Pit. Again, making that trek over here to Shakopee, or the Shakopee Middle School, Shakopee West Middle School, and about 5 blocks from the high school campus. I look down at the fans. We're above the Shakopee sideline. They're in disbelief right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but if you're in red and black, this is not the way this game was supposed to go at all. This was absolutely not what was supposed to happen.
Now, what do you do if you're the Wildcats here? Kick it from the Shakopee 45.
Kick this out the back of the end zone.
I think so too.
Absolutely pound this thing out the back of the end zone. Anything else would be silly.
And the kick is just wide right. Okay, you don't get points, but nonetheless, Shakopee to start at their own 20-yard line. And I'd have to double check my notes as we go along, but I'm not sure Shakopee's completed a pass yet tonight. I don't see one here. They had the one opportunity. It would have been a walk-in touchdown that got dropped back in the second quarter.
Nope. Their statistician can confirm they have not completed a pass yet tonight.
So 1:43 to go in the third.
And this is their worst starting field position of the night too, Mike Cook.
I believe you're correct.
The Sabres have had much better starting field position in every one of their drives heretofore.
Jackson will keep. Jackson will get wrestled down. Hansen and the stop for the Wildcats, and that's a loss of 2. You think the Eagan D is fired up right now?
Well, they're playing tough. They are attacking. How many times have we talked about with the Eagan defense catching blocks versus attacking? Right now, Hansen, that time, did you see him attack? Watch him. He's going to attack the line of scrimmage and come flying. Absolutely. I mean, they're not catching blocks right now. They are fired up, and they know that if they get a stop against these Sabres, that offense can put it in the end zone again.
Yep. 2nd and 11, we'll call it. Pitch coming near side. Sabres, they got a seam. Oh, Gugino with the big stop there for the Wildcats. That might have prevented 6. There's a huge line there with Kriegel. He gets by Gugino, and that might have went the distance. That's going to be a 14-yard pickup for Kriegel. Nice job of Gugino to come off that block. Kruger over to help out as well. Not sure Kruger would have got there in time. Bottom line, first down Sabres as we're inside a minute to go. Quarter number 3. And it's going to be first down Sabres again. As Hellerud out across the 40, put it out to the 44-yard line. That's another dozen yards this time for the Sabres. Check that, 43, so give them 11.
Wildcat defense cannot go into their shell here. They can't. They've got to keep doing what gave them success early in this drive and the last drive. Attack the line of scrimmage. You know Hellerud's going to get a steady dose of it.
Could be the final play of the quarter. That's going to be a loss of a couple that time. Hansen, Moses, Wilson, Tella. And the final seconds are going to tick off. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagan Wildcats are leading the Shakopee Sabres 20-7 as we go to the 4th quarter. Again, I want to make sure we thank all of our sponsors, especially our main, Cooper's Tap House, Kitchen and Rail, Wyatt's Twisted Americana Bar and Grill, Tavern 13, Domino's, Jersey Mike's, and countless others that have been part of this Eagan program all year. If you look in the Eagan, the playbook they hand out at the game, there's like 35 or 40 businesses that are part of this program this year. I think I can safely say on behalf of the Booster Club, thank you.
Yeah, supporting high school sports, it's essential, right? It's essential to have quality high school sports, to have all of these sponsors, the community. And there's very little that brings the community together like Friday Night Lights. And to Coach Nick Johnson and these Eagan Wildcats, thank you to help, for making Friday Night Lights entertaining, competitive, compelling, something we want to tune in for, show up at, whether it's to get a pizza from the Brick Oven Pizza Bus or whether it's to watch football. It doesn't matter. It's still a community event, and it's a lot of fun.
So Reliable Insurance, Jesse Eisen. Madden with a nice little touchdown run, put the Cats up by this 20-7 count. Minimal pickup that time for the Sabres as we start quarter number 4. Rockford up from his secondary position. And it's going to be 3rd and let's call it about 6, maybe 7 for Shakopee. No, 4-down territory.
I was just going to say, the easiest thing in the world here is you're in 4-down territory, being down by 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. You know you're going to go for it on every 4th down, so that helps you on 3rd down, opens up the playbook a little bit.
Hellerud. And that'll be a fresh set of downs and more. Hellerud gets down inside the 30-yard line. That's a 23-yard pickup for big number 5, the senior.
It's pretty clear when Hellerud gets ahead of steam as he's heading over the B gap, over the guard, maybe the guard tackle, maybe the C gap. As he gets ahead of steam, he's in good shape. It's when they run the option that the Wildcats seem to have him covered as a dive back.
And he'll get it once again, and he'll have success once again. The sticks are going to move once again. That's 10, maybe 11, depending on the spot. We get first down Shakopee, I think. Looking for the sticks to move on the far side. I thought he had enough.
I sure thought so too. Yeah,
there
they'll
it is.
Move them.
So far, Hellerud's had runs of 11, 4, 23, and 10 on this drive.
And I think if you're the Sabres, look, you're going to have to score again after this if you want to win the football game. Just keep giving Hellerud the ball, punch this in, and then play some good defense.
Jackson under center. Hellerud, he's tripped up. Liren first man through. That was 52. Josh Liren. Yes, Josh Liren, 52 on the stop for the Wildcats.
Liren was absolutely being tackled. He was absolutely being tackled that time by Rutschke. And Rutschke's lucky he didn't get flagged for a penalty there because he was absolutely tackling Liren as he comes through to make that play.
Loss of 4 on the play. Second 14 Sabers. 10-19 and counting. High pitch, gobbled up nicely though that time. Cuts it up, 15. That's going to be close to a first down by Brady Kriegel. And I think he's going to be about 2 yards shy. He did 14, I think he got about 12. We're going to call it 12 for 12, and it's going to be 3rd and 2. I like that. You've got Eagan, if you're Shakopee, you've got Eagan so focused on Hellerud.
Oh, massive. Oh, wow. I don't know how you missed that hold on Iacker. Look at Iacker. His jersey's being absolutely grabbed. It's right at the point of attack. And I understand you can call holding on a lot of plays, but when it's at the point of attack in a game, on a play like that, in a game like that, you got to throw a flag at some point.
3rd and 2 Sabers. Hellerud, who else? 4th and 1 upcoming, I believe, for Shakopee. I don't think he got it. That Eagan defensive line collapsed big time. Keenan Wilson first man in. And it is going to be indeed 4th and less than a yard. I don't know where you're at, Wildcat fans, but on your feet right now.
Absolutely. Now, here's the thing. The Sabres have an easy call to make. Give it to Hellerud over the left guard, over the right guard, between the guard and the tackle, wherever that hole is. Just give it to him about 4 yards deep. Have him turn around. Don't run the option. Don't try to do anything stupid. Just give it to him and let him plow forward. And if the Wildcats know that's coming, they got to stop it.
How loud would it be at Wildcat Stadium with the pit right now? Hellerud first down Shakopee down to the 7. And the Sabres keep this drive going. It's going to be 1st and goal. Sabres. What a nice drive here by Shakopee.
Well, they had to have it, Mike, right? They had to have it. Otherwise, the ball game's practically over. I mean, they had to have it, and this is what good teams do. When their back's against the wall, they execute. And the Shakopee Sabres are a good football team, and they've executed.
So it's 1st and goal at the 7. Nice job, Moses. First man in, 71 in white. Adrian Moses, normally an offensive lineman for the Cats. He's filling in more than admirably tonight on the defensive line.
Yeah, getting some extra size on the defensive line is not a bad thing when you've got Hellerud running hard between the tackles. Interesting that time, though, he takes the handoff and immediately spins. That's usually, no matter how talented you are, that's usually not what you want to be doing. You want to try to get some yardage downfield first before you make that spin move. 2nd
and goal, Sabres. Going to make this a 1-score game. And Hellerud gets down to about the 3. Trying to see who's on the bottom of that pile for the Wildcats, and indeed it was Jack Kruger. Caden Tonsager in there as well. 3rd and goal from about the 3, maybe the 4. And Hellerud is down, and that is not a good sign if you're Shakopee. He is reaching for that right ankle. And you can hear the wind being sucked out of on field right now when they realize who's down.
Well, it's never a good thing when a player takes off his helmet and throws it 5, 6, 8 yards. That's bad news for everybody. And you obviously just hope he's okay. I mean, he gets such a heavy workload for these Wildcats. Sabres.
Hey, well, we got a break, and maybe it's not the right inopportune time, but segue into, let's talk about our crew. A lot of people coming down making the trek tonight. Josh Sibley is our director. Polish Joe Chupik helping out. Nick Mudd, Michelle Blasco, Sarah Paulus, Greg Borman, Savina Cisneros. A lot of those folks have been with us all year long on Wildcat football games, ETV. Look at some of our crew up on top. Again, they've got a nice night. Coach Jeff Coleman up there on the far left videoing for the program, but as Hellerud's able to limp off, that's a good sign.
Well, it's a good sign you're not being carted off, but I'm sure he would beg to disagree. He looks like he's in a lot of discomfort.
I say that grimace there was not a good sign, but this young man is a top wrestler. You know he's tough.
Oh,
and you
don't question the young man's toughness, but even tough guys occasionally are going to get hurt.
And there's the
He's
reaction.
Still pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, can I say that on the air? Yeah, I guess.
Jaden Hellerud out. So now who gets the ball for Shakopee on 3rd and goal from the 3 with inside 8 minutes to go? Dare I say in regulation. Jackson, keeper, touchdown Sabers. 3 yards for the senior signal caller.
Well, he just made that look too easy, didn't he, Mike?
He did.
I mean, it looked too easy. And to be honest with you, if you're the Wildcat defense, with Hellerud out not in the game, who else is going to handle the ball? I mean, you had to key on Jackson.
Well, he looking on the sideline for where he went. Jaden, yeah. Okay, PAT attempt upcoming. Kick is plenty-o leg, plenty-o accuracy. 7:49 to go. Eagan Wildcats 20. The Shakopee Sabers 14. And that missed extra point by the Wildcats, will that come back to haunt them? As they are up by 6 with 7:49 to go. But for the Wildcats, you get this football back, you just need to sustain a drive. Do what you've been doing, 4, 5, 6 yards a pop. And the gentleman in white will be heading back home. Most likely a home playoff game next Friday if they're able to hang on here in a tough environment at Vaughn Field against a very, very tough Shakopee Saber team. Sabers, they got beat by South a week ago, 28-10. And Coach Ray Benton said, yeah, they just did not play well. They shot themselves in the foot, tons of penalties. If you want to be considered one of the top teams of 6A, you don't go in on a 2-game losing streak.
No, that is definitely not.
Ashton Klusman,
that's
kick off.
It's not what you want. Wildcats need a big return, a solid return here. Hold on to the football. You know the Sabers will be going for it. Be smart. Be careful with the ball and be smart.
Right leg swings into it. This one shall be into the end zone as Rockford lets that one go into the end zone. Eagan's going to take over at their 20. I thought for a moment Rockford was going to grab that, and they probably better thought, I'm going to let that one go over my head and into the end zone. Got check time, Wildcats. 7:49 to go. You're up by 6 on the field of a top 10 opponent. Again, we've said it. But most likely you win, you got a home playoff game.
Hey, you want to climb the ladder? Here's a big rung for you, Eagan Wildcats. Climb this ladder. That's what you have to do right now.
Tonsauger in the backfield. Brooklyn Evans. Tonsauger. That's a nice run on first down. Pickup of about 8, maybe 9. Jacob Rude the stop for the Shakopee Sabers. Nice job by the O-line, though, given that hole. Tonsauger just found it. Moses, nice block inside. 9 yards on the carry.
Now here's the thing. It's second and short. The Wildcats have Tonsauger. I would keep feeding Tonsauger until the Sabers can stop him, because the clock is really going to start to work on the Shakopee mindset as this ticks down.
I mean, some coaches will say 2nd and 1 is like a free play.
Get the first down.
Absolutely. Milking the clock. Evans. Anderson in motion. Here's Evans. That you could not have. What a job that time, bursting through the line for Shakopee. I didn't catch the number on that young man. Bottom line, that's a loss for the Wildcats of about 3, maybe 4. Now, if you're Eagan, you cannot have that happen. I'm going to assume Ryan Vosper is my most likely guess, one of the top linebackers on this squad. So you go from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 4. McGivern, top of your screen. Evans keeps. Well, we got a false start, make it 3rd and 9. What were we just saying about gut check time?
Eagan's coaching staff really upset on the far side of the field because they were not set before that ball was snapped, and that is an inexcusable mental error that you cannot have when you're trying to beat Shakopee at home.
We have some of the Eagan coaches in the booth next to us here, and if looks could kill, as we approach the halfway point,
it was
quarter number 4.
It was 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
Yes,
now
it
we're
was.
looking at 3rd down and 9. It's not what the Wildcats need to be doing right now.
McGivern in motion. Eisen. And that's going to be close. I think he's going to be a hair shy. Oh, what do you do if you're the Wildcats?
I know exactly what I'm going to do if I'm the Wildcats because I want to climb this ladder. But watch Eisen do a nice job of making his cut. Yeah, he's a little short of the 30-yard line. Now, I don't think he's a full yard short, but I go for it. I'm going to go for it right here.
I would too.
I'm going to go for it. I'm going to give it to Tonsager. I'm going to get 2 yards, and I'm going to get a 1st down.
First, I'm milking the clock. I'm going to try to draw Shakopee off. If I got to take a timeout at that point, I do, because I took some more seconds off that clock.
The play clock's not working here at Vaughn Stadium. I'm not sure what's going on. It was working earlier, and it's not working now.
Cats cannot have a false start, that is for sure. And timeout taken by the Shakopee Sabers.
But that's not a bad idea if you're the Shakopee Sabers, because you want to make sure you see how the Wildcats line up, adjust your defense accordingly. It's a big stop. You could argue, you could argue this is the game, right? If the Wildcats can get a 1st down here, another 2 minutes is going to go off the clock. Even if they end up punting the ball, you're looking at a long field for the Shakopee Sabers. And I see Jackson, and I see Hellerud down there, who does not look like he's going to come back into this football game. And that's a huge blow to these Sabers.
Nick Johnson just standing by the side, letting his coaching staff do their job. With Mark Henderson in there, he's the offensive coordinator for this Wildcat squad. NJ in his 3rd year. You see Carson Schwam, number 17 there. Unfortunately, he's got that walking boot on that left foot. Ankle injury a week ago at Burnsville is going to put him out for the rest of the season. 4th and 1. You'll hear it if Shakopee makes the stop. We're right above their fans. I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did either.
I'm watching both referees come in from the side.
They are shy of the 30-yard line. But I have to look at the spot. We got to look at the spot. Does it touch the 30-yard line or not?
Shakopee coaches think it's theirs. Ethan Welln, the first man in for the Sabers. This is huge.
You gonna measure?
Call for the measure. Let's drag out the drama just a little bit more.
Hang on,
He's short.
I don't understand why this is an issue. He didn't make it to the 30-yard. They spotted him short of the 30-yard line.
And this drive started at the 20.
It did. Absent, I don't know why they're measuring this.
Is this just to placate the Eagan coaches?
Maybe.
What a defensive stop. Ethan Welln, the first man in for the Sabers. 4:58 to go. Shakopee takes over at the Wildcat 30.
Okay. Still, hey, if you're the Wildcats, nothing changes. All right? Nothing changes here. You go and play defense. You attack the line of scrimmage. You wrap up. As Hellerud's got his helmet off, he is not going back in this football game. So the Sabres lose their bell cow. Now you got to lock down on Jackson. Now you got to lock down on
Braden Johnson, 28.
Kriegel, Johnson,
Holte
Jackson.
is 33.
Absolutely. Lock down on those guys. But you know it's not going to go to Hellerud every single play. He's not going to run it down your throat. They're going to attack the outside a little bit more. Attack the line.
One turnover this game was committed by Shakopee. There's Jackson, tripped up, still falls forward, gets about 6. Yeah, he pounds his fist to the turf. He knew he could have had more. Sorry, who's got the paw in there? Tella, or I take it back, Kruger up, help finish him off. But he kind of got tripped up a little before then, and it's going to be 2nd and, let's call it 4.
And ball security becomes a real issue for the Sabres. They've got the Wildcats are going to be going for this football every single time they can. Sabres have really got to tighten up.
Dominic Jackson, the senior signal caller for the Sabres. That's Johnson. Moses meets him at the line. Brandon Johnson's going to maybe lose half a yard. Again, give Adrian Moses. What a football game for him tonight. Playing both ways on that line. That's going to be a very tired young man on the ride back to Eagan. 3rd and 4, Shakopee. So we go inside 4 minutes to go in regulation. We talked about how this game has so much implications for the playoffs. This feels like a playoff game.
Oh, absolutely. It's the intensity is incredible, Mike Cook.
Jackson, he'll keep. Jackson is gonna get to the 20. Caden Tonsager brings him back. This is gonna be close.
If the near side official gets the spot, I think it's a first down. If the far side official gets the spot, I think it's short of the 20.
And it's gonna be 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down. No, it's first down.
Oh, did they give it?
Wait.
No, the sticks haven't moved. It was 4th down.
Oh, he's signaling. Oh, wow. The referee's arm was at a 45-degree angle.
4th inches.
This is going to be Jackson. There's no way it's not Jackson. He's going to take the snap, drop back, and pick a gap between a guard and a center to go through. The Wildcats have got to attack.
Play the game right here. Shakopee needs half a yard to keep this drive going as we're inside 3 to go in regulation. Cats, can they make the stand? And timeout taken by the Shakopee Sabers. That'll be their second of this half.
Second of the half, that's right.
2:49 to go. Cats by 6. Again, those of you that are pit members that aren't here, you darn well better be on your feet right now, supporting your Eagan defense.
We saw the Wildcats coming up into those A-gaps, stomping in those A-gaps, and that's where that ball's going to go. Jackson only has to go about 18 inches forward, maybe 24 inches forward. Once that snap occurs, the Wildcats have really got to step into those A-gaps hard. I'm surprised that, honestly, Mike Cook, I'm surprised that the Wildcats didn't have players in both A-gaps. They didn't. They had an offset nose, but they didn't have players in both A-gaps.
If you're Shakopee, you have not completed a pass tonight. Does this even cross your mind if you're the offensive staff for the Sabers?
Nope.
I don't think so
absolutely
either.
Not. I'm going to put the ball in the hands of my best athletes. If it was Hellerud, he's not in the game. It's Jackson, it's Kriegel, it's somebody else, right? But I'm not going to throw this ball. I need 24 inches, 18 to 24 inches. That's all I need.
4th and inches. First down Sabers. Johnson down to the 4. 17 yards by the senior. Cats had a chance at him.
Well, they had a chance near the line of scrimmage. I think he was going to get that first down all day long, Mike Cook. But they had a chance. But now, with less than 2.5 minutes to go, now it becomes a clock game against the Wildcats. Now the extra point still is kind of, it's still high school football. Extra points are extra points, but it's now first and goal from the 5?
Shakopee's got to get in first.
Yep.
They've got 1 timeout left. Jackson keeps. Jackson falls forward to about the 1. It's Gugino. And there, Rockford as well. They're going to spot that one at about put it at the 2. Inside 2 minutes to go. Cats have all 3 timeouts, but you got to save those for offense.
Absolutely.
Actually, I'm going to say the ball's at the 1. Dominic Jackson, number 1 timeout taken by the Eagan Wildcats. That'll be their first. 1:45 to go.
Well, yeah, you can't buy the seconds back with a timeout, so you might as well take it now, because I imagine Shakopee, with second down and goal, would probably milk that play clock down as much as they could. Now, what's interesting is that the play clock is not running. It was running earlier in the game, Mike Cook, at both ends of on field, but it is no longer functioning, so they must be doing that on the field. And both teams right now very cognizant of where that play clock is. So it's a little harder for us up here in the booth to understand exactly what you're doing, but ultimately, the Sabers are going to punch this in. No gimmicks, no tricks. They're just going to punch it in.
They're going to try to.
Well, that's their goal, right?
Yes.
The Wildcats have got to understand, look, the shortest distance between 2 places is a straight line. Don't worry about the sweep. Yep, there you go. Yep, that clock's not functioning. Don't worry about the sweep. Don't worry about the toss. Commit, sell out on this over the off tackle stuff, right? Sell out on Johnson. He just got a big gain for you 2 plays ago for the Shakopee Sabers. Sell out. See what you can do. Jackson and Johnson. Those are the 2 guys you want to stop. And above all, strip that ball.
12 is Kriegel, 28 Johnson, 1 is Jackson. Kriegel in motion. Jackson keep. Jackson touchdown.
That's just too easy. It was just too easy. There's good blocking over the left side, but the Wildcats just did not do a good job of filling that gap. There was just too much space. The all-important extra point, Mike Cook.
Yeah, just slightly. And a nice job by Shakopee. I didn't catch who that was. It was 33 that came around. That was Holte. Holte was leading the block as well. He was making sure that his quarterback had plenty of chance to get in that end zone. Huge PAT. And it looks good from here, and indeed it is. 1:42 to go. Shakopee takes the lead again for the first time tonight, actually.
That's right. That's
21-20.
That's their first lead of the night with less than 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, Mike Cook. If you had started the evening saying that the Wildcats, that the Shakopee Sabers for the first time with 2 minutes to go are going to have a lead, what would you have said? You would have said that's exactly what the Wildcats want, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, that means they've played really well, and they have in the second half.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out too. I was just thinking about it. I want to make sure we thank the members of the ladder crew this year. Really nice job supporting this Eagan Wildcat program. Jack Esser, Josh Anderson, Trisha Burback, President, VP, Secretary. Oh, heck, Trisha does everything, let's be honest. But nice job getting the community involved with this program, climbing the ladder. And I'm sure they'll have everybody fired up for the playoffs as well.
Wildcats have got 2 timeouts. They need a good return here, a solid return. They can't be starting inside their own 20. They need a solid return. They need to get down the field quickly. I don't know what Jack Hansen's range is, but I guess we might find out.
Last kickoff went into the end zone. Klusman went the distance on it. Do you just kind of pooch one down to about the 25 and see what happens? Nope. This one will be returnable from about the 2. Eisen. Remember, he split the distance against Hopkins. Loses the football. Eagan says they hung on.
Yeah, the Wildcats are going to hang on to that football, but that was dangerous stuff.
Okay, everybody breathe once again.
What were we saying about ball security? Both teams, nicely done that time.
Vosper.
Yep, Vosper, look at that.
1:32. Cats down by 1. Brooklyn Evans, very shifty as a quarterback. Going to throw it. That quick little out to McGivern. That'll pick up about 8. That'll work.
It's not what the Wildcats like doing, but they did a nice job doing it.
Is that the Cats' first completion?
I believe that is the Cats' first completion of the night as well.
So that would be the first completion of the football game.
With less than a minute and a half to go in the game. How about that? There's some trivia for you.
Thinking about the throw. Anderson downfield going for McGivern. He's got it at the 32. Eagan Wildcats first down Saber territory. 33 yards on the halfback option.
I did not see that one coming, Mike Cook. Oh my goodness, as Evans spikes the ball to stop the clock and save the timeouts, although in fairness, you had 2 timeouts.
Yes,
you probably could have called one there just to reset, but oh my heavens. I honestly thought Anderson was going to the sideline on that one. I thought he was, he's going to get 5-10 yards, get out of bounds, that kind of thing. Oh no, young man had different ideas in mind.
So Brooklyn Evans looking to lead the Wildcats to the win here at Vaughn Field against the Shakopee Sabers.
It's so important to execute. Line, get down and get set. Everybody do their jobs.
A little soft coverage on McGivern up top. Tonsager, that play went really nowhere. Maybe got a yard. Whole number of Shakopee Sabers in there, including Rude, who's had a nice football game for the Sabers. 52 in red. Timeout taken by the Eagan Wildcats.
Oh, pardon me, Mike.
That would be their last one.
Yeah, Sabers taking a timeout. Good idea by the Sabers to take that timeout and get. Well, they're charging that to the Eagan Wildcats.
Yeah, the official pointed to Eagan.
So I was going to say, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but regardless of how this game ends, this has been an absolutely fantastic high school football game between these two teams. And neither coach is going to want to say, we had it, no coach is going to want to say, hey, we almost were there, we almost this, we almost that. No, everybody wants to win the football game. But I will say this, the Wildcats, I don't know if they've climbed another rung on the ladder, but if they punch one in or if they kick a field goal to win this game, boy, that would be one big rung on that ladder.
And you got to remember, it's now 3rd and 9 because you had the spike and then just the 1-yard carry.
Well, you have the advantage, Mike, as you said before, of being in 4-down territory. So, you don't have to. You don't have to get all 9 of it right now. You get 7 of it right now is just fine.
You asked earlier, what's Jack Hansen's range? I don't think it's 48 yards.
No, it's not that long.
Evans. Tonsauger. First down Wildcats, down to the 21. Now you're in Hansen range.
Got about 11. He needed about 9.
And they'll spike that one.
Smart play there by the Wildcats. Save that last timeout.
I got to say, you and I have done this for a number of years. Isn't it fun to be in a game like this?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
You and I over the years have called a lot of dogs.
Oh, my goodness gracious, is this fun.
This is a blast.
Win or lose, these two teams have given us a great high school football game here tonight. And I hope if you're up Highway 13 in Eagan, if you're watching it, any of our sponsors, if you're watching it online, if you're standing around your kitchen TV, I hope you're as glued to this as we are.
Nope. Tonsauger right into the heart of that. That one's looking to spike it right away, but it's 3rd down right now. If you're going to hold this for the field goal, don't you let this play clock run down? And I guess the Cats still did have one timeout because I think they just used it right there.
Clock still, nope, they still have one timeout.
The clock is going. Well, this game is going to be on the foot of Jack Hansen. It sure appears. Brooklyn Evans squirts his way through. Evans down to the 8. Nearly lost that football.
Okay, that's going to be a first down. We're going to have 1st and goal. And imagine the Wildcats are going to take this down. Whew.
Yeah, you spike it there.
Okay, they're going to have one more play. They're going to have, I think, one more play with 15 seconds left. One more play to run the ball, call their timeout. Ball security is key. It's going to, if they gain any yardage at all, it's going to be like an extra point. Now remember, we had one blocked earlier, but so far this year, that's the first block, if I recall correctly, of an extra point this year that we've called.
Again, I'm sure if the TVs are on at Cooper's, Tavern 13, Wise Twisted Americana, Kitchen and Rail. Turn the sound up, folks. We got a nail biter here in Wildcat Country. Domino's, Jersey Mike's, Official Pizza Sandwich Shop, respectively. I'm going to guess over at Eagan Arms Public House, Tracy, Lee, and Chelsea, they're watching this one. TV is about to be loud there. Affinity Plus, Chick-fil-A, TCO Training House, among the many partners. Reliable Insurance, Escape With Us Travel, I mentioned the Urgency Room, Summit Orthopedics. Just up and down the list we go with all these sponsors. Juniors Cafe, Dunn Brothers, 15.3.
Now here's the thing, the Shakopee defense is on their heels a little bit. This might be wise, take the timeout right here if you're Coach Benton, but they're on their heels a little bit. The Wildcats are going to attack this line of scrimmage. They've got the speed to be able to get in from 8 yards out.
Keep an eye on Ison, he's 20 in the backfield. Tonsauger is your tough fullback. Evans, he'll keep. Evans got to go forward. Evans is going to get back to the 12. That's going to be a loss of 4. You see the clock ticking down. Cats going to use that last time out. 29-yard attempt for Jack Hansen.
So slightly longer than an extra point.
Why do you run that play?
Well, I think the play was designed to get. I mean, I'm sure that the instruction to Evans was get positive yardage.
Yeah.
Right? Get positive yardage, but stay away from negative. But keep it in the. But that time, Evans saw something to the outside. He saw something that he could get to. He tried to do too much. I mean, I think that's
absolutely.
I think a sophomore. I think being maybe a year wiser. Maybe he just goes down and doesn't take that risk, right?
So I believe Bo Thielen is the long snapper. Schwam has been the holder this year. Of course, he's out. Hansen, 83. It's going to be from the left hash. He's going to set it down at the 30. Evans, the holder. Shakopee fans are right below us. It's either going to get really loud or really quiet. Eagan sideline, they're all on one knee. Hansen for the win.
He got it!
Eagan Wildcats knock off the Shakopee Sabers. 23-21. I just look into the next booth where the coaches are. They're going nuts. The pit, they're going nuts.
Oh, Jack Hansen. Where have you been hiding all season? Where's been the moments of drama like that? This is back-to-back years where the Wildcats have won in last-second walk-off fashion.
30-yard field goal.
He crushed it right down the middle.
They haven't changed the scoreboard yet, by the way. Eagan Wildcats finish 5-3. That's 4 straight.
5-3.
5-3.
5-3.
There it is now. They got that up on the board. 23-21 Wildcats. The pit is lined up for these players to come off the field. Watch the boys in white. There's the pit. And Ray Benton and the Sabers have got to be thinking, what the heck? They're in our number 1 seed.
Well, regardless of whether you're a number 1 seed, a number 2 seed, or whatever, Coach Benton's going to get these guys refocused, ready to go next week. I would not want to be the Shakopee opponent next week because I have a feeling they're going to be coming out bringing all the guns. But tonight, the Eagan Wildcats have defeated the Shakopee Sabers in Shakopee. This is Mike Cook. This is a big rung on that climb the ladder for Nick Johnson and these Wildcats.
I know it's you and I's job to sit up here and talk. I'm speechless right now.
That's incredible.
Watch the Wildcats head off to the field. The pit is not big in numbers tonight. They're loud. They're pumped. You and I might be calling the game next Friday at Wildcat Stadium.
I think there's an excellent chance of that, Mike Cook. And thanks to our ETV crew, our great replay people, our camera people, the people in the truck. We talked about the crew earlier. They make it so easy to look so good up here. All we have to do is blather on. But a great high school football game between 2 teams that are going to be playing, are going to have some success next week. These Sabers, Coach Benton will get these Sabers straightened out. They got beat tonight. But they're gonna get straightened out, and they're gonna do well next week.
I want to give a real quick thank you. Matt Hansen, athletic director here at Shakopee High School, got Eagan TV in here tonight. We know it's been harder and harder to be able to broadcast road games. Thank you, Matt, for getting the Eagan TV production crew in here tonight at Vaughn Field. As you look at the Eagan Wildcats, Eisen scored from long distance. Tonsauger scored from long distance. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagan Wildcats are going to finish the season 5-3.
They just knocked off
a 23-21 win over the Shakopee Sabers in Shakopee.
They just knocked off a top 10 opponent, right?
Climb the ladder, baby.
I mean, holy cow.
Well, that's going to wrap it up here from Shakopee Saber country. I almost said Wildcat country. Hell, it's Wildcat country right now. The fans are about to go nuts when the players come off the field. But, again, going to wrap it up here from Shakopee. Again, your Eagan Wildcats 23, the Shakopee Sabers 21. What a football game to end the regular season. So on behalf of the entire ETV crew, he's Nathan Cron. I'm Mike Cook. Thank you for being with us tonight and all season long. We'll see you next time for Wildcat Football on ETV.